It's so bright out here. Welcome back to Bitter Swede Garage. I'm Andrew, and well, I got a little surprise for you. You like surprises? Come on. Ta-da! Oh. My friend Chris got my expedition done. And there it is, outside, where it belongs. Won't get. So, today, I'm gonna do a little maintenance on the Cabover because me and Troy, you know Troy, and my other Ford loving friend, Chance, are gonna go to a truck show next Saturday. So hopefully I'll include that with this footage, but nothing crazy, just need to change the oil and our brake light switch is not working, so let's get after it. All right, I'm gonna drive this down to the parts store. Need to get some oil. I think I have all my other fluids that I'll top off, but get this warmed up and then we'll change the oil right quick on it. We'll say this thing starts a lot better with the correct carburetor on it. Yep. Well, O'Reilly didn't have my shocks, so I had to get some Napa know-how. Proformer. Sure, that'll work. Tell you what, I'm excited to get my shop back. Been a couple months. It's nice to have the space. Probably one of the easier oil changes as far as getting to the drain plug, which reminds me I need to get a new drain plug. That one's a little weird. Okay, hold on. Okay. There it is. I always think about putting gloves on right about the time I'm getting ready to pull the plug. Hot. Looks pretty good though. It doesn't look like a diesel. I wouldn't mind putting some shocks or something on this so it'll like lift up. But for now, pull the pin and run. Throw the grenade first. All right, here's my parts haul. I like to add a little bit of this Rizlone Zinc additive to the oil because, you know, it has what modern oils lack. Missing from modern oils. And then these shocks, there's nothing wrong with the shocks that are on here, but they're for a big block motorhome. And, well, not only is this a small block, my engine's in the back, so I think they're just a little too stiff. There's no weight in the front, so I got some half-ton shocks. We'll try them out. But first, we'll finish changing the oil. Got my Wix 51060. I like to put the date on there because, you know, that's what Derek Beery from Vice Grip Garage does, and well, I want to be like him. So another thing I'm looking into is I thought I heard some noise. Hopefully it's not the bearing, but you know, as cool as these big wheels are, they're a little hard on bearings. This is a 3/4 ton like spindle and stuff, so I don't know, heavier duty, sure. But upon further inspection, there is a rock inside my hubcap. So, you know, it's one of those centrifugal weights. It's good to keep your hubcaps in balance. All right, let's see if I can get this off without scratching my wheel too bad. They're kind of a pain. Yep, there's a lot of... Oh. Mystery solved. I mean, I can't believe there's rust on the inside. It's practically brand new. So, well, let's check the other side. Making the same. Nope, that one's good. There we go. I fixed it. All right, here's the new shock. And that's the shock that she told you not to worry about. All right, let's see if we can be fancy for the internet. Nope. Fail. It even fits. This one is too wide. What is your major malfunction? I didn't even cut that. There we go. Well, no internet award for me. Just messed up my hardware here real quick. There we go. Just tap, baby. Tap, tap, taparoo. I'm probably gonna need to start the nut on the back side before I get too crazy with that. There we go. It's a pretty tight fit. You can see that. But, alright, one down, one to go. Alright, I got it all back together, so let's go check it out. Well, there's a bump. I think it's actually a little bit better. Here's another one. Yeah, it's surprisingly better. So, having no weight on the front end, I mean, except for the cab, I didn't need to have those stiff shocks on here. So, I mean, around town it seems better. The rear end's real stiff, but that's on purpose because I can't articulate my U-joints very much, or they break. So, anyway, we'll give this a go. Well, here's another thing I need to fix. Guess these are originally held on there with screws, as you can see, but it just pulls it out. So I guess I could just put a washer on that. I don't know. Something else. Here's another little project I've been putting off, but that's my battery and funnel oil storage. I had a bolt that fell out, so finally got one of these. Had to grind it a little bit to get it to fit, but it's got a little bit of an interference fit. Ta-da! That'll work. All right, I fixed my window channel. Apparently it needs replaced. It's not that old, but can't even see them. Anyway, I was missing a screw here. This pulled out. This one pulled out, so put a little washer on there, and it doesn't hit the glass, fortunately. But all right, one more little thing fixed. I got everything wrapped up. The last little thing I did was I added some weather stripping, kind of like rubber or foam pads there, so hopefully I can clamp this down. It'll keep it from squeaking a little bit. So it's ready for the truck show. So we'll check back in a week from now. So hang on. Fast forward in time. Well, I'm back. It's slightly into the future, but not as far as I thought I would be when I started recording. Anyway, before we go to the truck show on Saturday, there's a couple things that are still bothering me about the wheelbarrow. Mostly when I was driving it around the other day, I could watch the top of it going blah, 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 and that's just gonna eventually break, work harden, and well, it's already rusted, so not real strong. So my plan is to let's see, build a bracket across here and somehow connect it with some gussets to this plate, so it'll kind of bridge that all up. So, and then we'll see if I can maybe blow it all apart again, and then I want to clear coat the bottom side of it, which is actually the top side. Also, I went a little hog wild now that I have my shop back. I changed some oil, made a huge mess, had to go get oil dry. Got tools everywhere, but now I need to focus on one thing. Oh, I also power washed that engine off. Why? Because, well, I had my power washer out. So now I've got to focus on one thing at a time, which is not easy for me to do. All right, here's the idea. So got this angle iron drilled and bolted on there. So that helped ridge it up the middle. And then it's still got a lot of weight pushing down because that's right where the wheel attaches, so it's kind of heavy. So got my template here. Just gonna make some gussets. Probably just 3 of them. So one there, one in the middle, and then one on the outside. So that should rigid it up. I am slightly restricted by depth because my air cleaner sits right here, so I don't want that to hit. So, well, hopefully it clears. There's one welded up, 2 to go. All right, here she is all welded up. It looks pretty good, sturdy enough. And you can kind of see this support right here lines up with that, so hopefully it transfers that weight to the plate. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Anyway, took that off. So now we'll put some clear coat on it, because why not? It's not like it's gonna stick, but you know, it'll shine up for a little while. So, and all I have left is some of that flat clear, but I don't know, we'll see how it looks. Here we go. All right, I got 2 wet coats of clear on there. That will flash pretty dull, matte, if you will, flat even. So it's real shiny now. And then figured I'd paint my support bracket while we were at it. And then I also put a little Man O' War oil on the varnish, whatever, on the handles. So that should seal it up pretty good. This is the stuff I put on the spar varnish. Maximum UV protection. And that's what we're after. Well, I am in desperate need of a cleanup here, especially that. So while this stuff's drying, I'm gonna clean up real quick, and then probably have to wait to put it back together. I did put it out in the sun. Give it some maximum UV baking. My built-in bake booth. That's all I got. All right. Took me all dang day, and it still looks the same. Now, at least everything's put away. I've got the wheelbarrow glistening in the sun. Let's take a little shop tour, shall we? It's a short tour. There's my bathroom. Here's where the princess stays. She gets to stay inside all the time and hooked up to a trickle charger. So, yeah. I cleaned this side today too. I figured why not? I got too much junk in here, but I have this giant Lindy welder that I've used like once or twice. But it's vintage. Got my, sorry, dark. Need new lights. Ingersoll Rand air compressor, and then a bunch of random stuff. Everybody needs an extra 350 laying around, or 2. That one's blown. Maybe I can use some, I'll use a water pump off that one. Anyway, that's the other side of the shop that you don't see much of. It's short, dark, scary. All right, now that's been out in the sun all day, so I think I'm gonna bring it in and throw it back together. She's been freshly baking in the sun all day. It's got a little bit of shine. It really does look like a turtle shell. So let me get that put back on here, and then we'll put it back on the Cabover. Ready to go. All right, so here's what the bracket looks like, all painted and installed. Got it back on the wheel, and then it started raining. So let's just enjoy the Wyoming rain. Wyoming rain! It's a Guns N' Roses song. Funny, I built this to keep the rain off of my engine. Seems only fitting that it would rain when I went to go put it back on. So I'll probably wait. That clear coat's still pretty fresh. So either later tonight or tomorrow after work, I'll get that put on there and we'll go from there. I got so used to not using the shop because my wife's truck was in here taken apart. I realized I could move the cab over inside, put the wheelbarrow on it, and then let it sit overnight so it can dry with the heat on. So let's get to it. All right, here she is, all bolted up. I actually really like the oil on the handles because it makes it look a little older. Also provides a little water protection. I probably need to redo these eventually, but it's got a little bit of sheen on there from the flat clear coat, but I think it turned out pretty good. I'll show you something. Let me jump up here. So if I press down on that, it's solid. which is awesome. Before, it was oil canning, just like thunk, 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 thunk. So we're good to go. So I thought about putting like some gas shocks on this, so when I lift it up, it whoosh, you know, stay up when I want to show off the engine. But for now, this is gonna work. Monday's kind of my only day to work on stuff. So yeah, Friday, probably not. But so Saturday, the 30th, so May 30th, we're headed down to Johnstown, Colorado to a truck show, the 3rd annual of such show. And yeah, I'm gonna bring you along with this video, so we'll see you real soon. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go.